Hi folks, and welcome back to another 5-Minute Friday here on Meaningful Money. Okay, I want to carry on from last week. You may remember I'm going back to some of these really old videos and updating them. Last time I talked about some of this stuff on video was in like 2010. So it's about time we picked some of them up and updated them. And we talked last time about 3 things we need to know to get into the money mindset. The fact that the world is full of distractions and we need to understand our response to them. The fact that we need to be intentional if we're going to build wealth and not just kind of hope things happen by default. And thirdly, that really you are the best person to take control of your own financial future. Nobody cares more about you than you. And this week I want to build on that and talk about 2 things you need to do to get yourself into the money mindset. So let's put 5 minutes on the clock down here. Say a quick thank you to my friends at 7 Investment Management for sponsoring Meaningful Money down here. And let's crack on with the show. First thing you need to do is to spend some time envisioning your future. Now that sounds all very woohoo and zen, but really it isn't, and it doesn't need to be. What I want you to do is to sit down on your own, or maybe together if you're with somebody, and talk about what your ideal future would look like if you were financially secure. Now, really important, I'm not asking you what your future would look like if you had all the money in the world. For most of us, we're not going to be taking our private jet and hopping between the Maldives, New York, and San Francisco, and Paris, and all these kind of places. We're going to be living a fairly ordinary life, but a great life. You know, something that'd look half decent on Instagram. So if you had enough money coming in, or if you had enough assets that you didn't have to work, that you weren't dependent on anybody else, what would life look like? And we need to write this down, and I want you to describe it richly. Think about where you might be. Where in the world are you? What kind of property are you in? Is it where you live now, location-wise, or is it on a beach somewhere? Who are you with? Is it your partner, your family, your kids? None of the above. I won't tell, don't worry. And what are you doing? Describe a great day. What time do you get up? What do you have for breakfast? All the way through to what do you spend your time doing in the evening? Describe this stuff richly so that it has real power and presence and gets you excited about what your future might hold. Obviously, it has to be realistic. If you're currently a shift worker at a fast food joint, you probably need not to be thinking in terms of private jets. But I reckon you can come up with a vision of a life which can get you excited and one which is not beyond the realms of possibility. It's important to understand that this future, this picture of the future that you're painting isn't gospel. You're not going to be somehow bound by it. It's just something that you can now get excited about as you start to think towards it. And the power of this exercise is when you return to it when things are a little bit tough, because tough times will come. Remember, building wealth is a long process and it ain't going to be plain sailing all the way. But having some kind of vision for the future will serve you really well through those sticky moments when you need to retain your focus, even when distractions are all around you. So spend some time writing down or drawing a picture of your ideal future. It'll really help. You'll thank me for it, I promise. Having done that, the second thing you need to do is to resolve to win. You need to decide that this future that you've described is something that you really want. Are you prepared to do whatever it takes to meet those goals one day? Are you prepared to make sacrifices now if need be? And they will be needed, in order to attain greater heights later on. As Dave Ramsey says, are you prepared to live like no one else so that one day you can live like no one else? You get the subtle inflection in there? So you've got to decide, you've got to resolve that you're going to do this, and you've got to stick to that decision into the future. You've got to decide that you're not going to be sidetracked. You're not going to get distracted by the stuff that might easily turn your head, like we talked about last time. You're going to be your own #1 cheerleader, because nobody else is going to do that for you. And you're going to need to put your head down to the grind. Now remember, the process is fun as well. I shouldn't really call it the grind. It sounds like a negative thing. Building wealth is a blast. It's really exciting, and we're going to take that journey together. But it is work. But the future that you envisioned just now will help you really well when you need to lift your head up from the grind and take a breather and look towards your end goal. Essentially, that's the finish line. That's the goal, and it's within sight. Might not be within reach right now, but you can see it and you know you're heading in the right direction. So spend some time envisioning your future, writing it down, and then decide how much you want that and say, yes, I will do what's necessary to get there one day. So maybe bookmark this video and watch it again in the future, because you're going to need some encouragement. I'm with you, we can do this. Are you with me? So we're gonna get practical now and put in place some action steps that you can take to put yourself on a sure foundation and build wealth for the future. So we'll start that next time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next 5 Minute Friday.